Guild Players. The Lady Esther Screen Guild play tonight, This Gun for Hire. The starring players.
This is Veronica Lake.
And this is Alan Ladd. Tonight, Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players in Paramount Pictures' exciting story of a killer, This Gun for Hire, by Henry Graham Greene. It stars Alan Ladd as Raven and Veronica Lake as Ellen. The Lady Esther Screen Guild Players in This Gun for Hire.
Strange how I got mixed up in the thing. Me, Ellen Graham, nightclub performer. Nightclub performer. That's simple enough. You get your cue and you go into your act. Sure. Only in this case, my cue was murder. Some of it I didn't know until later, and some of it I had to guess. But putting it all together now, I know it must have started that night. That rainy night in San Francisco. With a man I've never even seen.
Yeah. Who is it?
I brought you something, Baker. Open up.
Oh, so your boss decided to play ball, huh? Come in, friend, come in.
Make it fast, honey. Coffee's on.
Who's that?
Oh, don't worry. My secretary. You got the money?
Here. You got those papers?
Right here. You know, it's lucky you got here tonight. By tomorrow, these things would have been on their way to Washington. No hard feelings, though. I'm even willing to forgive your boss for using a nasty word like blackmail. Okay? Here you are. Now, I'll take the money. I said I'll take that gun. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Too bad, sucker.
You killed him. You murdered him. No, look at me like that. Not me.
Sorry. They said he'd be alone.
No, I do anything you say.
I'm sorry.
Best food in San Francisco. Sure you won't have any lunch?
I'm not hungry.
I understand. They've got it all across the front page. You'll handle that job very well, my boy.
Did I?
Ugly people, blackmailers. Only one way to pay them off. Really, won't you have some dessert?
I'll have my cut, Johnson. I'm broke. You got yours, now I want mine.
Oh, yes, of course. Hey, it's in this envelope.
Well, what are you doing in San Francisco, Gates?
Are you talking to me?
Oh, aren't you Willard Gates of Los Angeles?
I'm afraid not. My name is Johnson.
Oh, I'm sorry. Funny, I could have sworn it was Gates.
That's the second guy that made that mistake.
Yes, it's rather annoying. Have a peppermint? They're very good. I always carry them. They seem to...
Save it. Look, what about this dough? It's all intense.
Well, you wouldn't want 1,000 ones.
I guess not. These had better be good.
But they're straight from the bank, just as I promised. Don't you trust me?
Don't trust anybody.
Yes, I see your point, of course. If those bills were bad, you wouldn't want to complain to the police.
I wouldn't have to. I'm my own police.
What do you mean? What would you do?
First, I'd find out who you're stooging for, the guy on top, the Showboy. And I'd give him what I gave Baker last night.
Oh, please.
Then I'd have put some of that blubber off of you.
I can't stand violence, not even talking about it. Raven, how do you feel when you're doing a job like that? Tell me.
I feel fine. Why?
Nothing. I just wondered, that's all. Hello? Hello, Chief. This is Gates. No, it's all right. I'm on a payphone. Took all my change to get Los Angeles. Listen, he's got the money. You can call the police. That's right, all tens. I can get the numbers from the bank. No, I'm staying up here for a couple of days. I've got a few things to finish up. Oh, no, nothing like that. This is strictly business.
Strictly business. I guess that meant me. You see, Fletcher, my agent, had called me up. He said Mr. Gates was in town buying talent for his nightclub in Los Angeles. Fletcher wanted me to show him my act. Told me the job was something very special. I wondered why Fletcher sounded so strange. But anyway, I went to his place the next afternoon and ran through my act for Mr. Gates. And when I finished...
Bravo, Miss Graham. Just what I need. Looks like you're it, Ellen. Rehearsal tomorrow afternoon in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles?
At the Neptune Club. I'm the owner.
I'm impressed.
Oh, no, I'm impressed. Your act is charming. And so are you. I wonder if you'd have dinner with me tomorrow night. Our agent says no.
But I don't always take my agent's advice.
And people ask me why I like this business. Tomorrow, then, my dear. Oh, and Fletcher, thanks for finding her. I'll send you a check to cover traveling costs. You got him, Ellen. He's hooked.
Say, Fletcher, what is this? You told me to be extra nice to him and then...
Any questions? Come on in here.
Where?
Private office. Here she is, sir. Miss Graham, Senator Burnett. I guess maybe you two would like to be alone.
What is this, Senator? A snatch?
I'd prefer to call it a conference, Miss Graham.
Senators usually have conferences in places like this.
Hotel rooms have walls, and sometimes walls have dictaphones.
Oh.
I'll make it very brief. My committee is investigating certain powerful interests suspected of dealing with the enemy. For many reasons, we happen to think that Mr. Gates is in that group.
A nightclub owner?
In the daytime, he's an executive at Nitrochemical.
Oh.
We want to know why he's been seeing certain people, how he's involved with them, whether he's on his own or acting for Nitro.
But where do I come in?
Mr. Gates, it seems, has a familiar weakness.
Familiar? He's in before you answer the doorbell.
Fletcher is sure you can handle him. Will you?
Well, I've always considered myself a pretty decent citizen.
Thank you. When do you leave for Los Angeles?
Tonight?
Mr. Gates will take the same train, I presume?
I presume. After seeing the gleam in his eye, I can't imagine what would keep him here.
Hello, Mr. Raven. How's everything?
Okay. Want to pay my room bill. 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yes, sir. That's $18 even.
All I've got is a couple of tens.
Right you are, 18 out of 20. Nice new bills you got here, Mr. Raven. Making yourself?
I don't think that's funny.
I'm sorry, Mr. Raven, no offense. Now, let me see.
See what?
Oh, we're supposed to check all $10 bills. The police are tracing some stolen money.
Stolen?
Payroll robbery, I think. It's just a routine thing. I'm sure that...
What's the matter?
The numbers on these bills. The police, I mean, they're the same as...
Hand them over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You never saw them. You never saw them. You never saw me. Got that straight?
Yes, sir. I never saw anything.
And when I walk out of here, don't grab for that phone. I wouldn't want you to make me come back again.
No, sir.
Remember that. Gates is what those two guys call him. Yeah. Willard Gates of Los Angeles.
So he was on the train, too. And that was how I met him, just by accident. He took the seat next to me, slouched down and pulled his hat over his eyes and went to sleep. But he wasn't sleeping. He was putting on an act. I began to wonder why. So after a while, I left my seat and walked down to the end of the car and got a drink. Then I came back and sat down. Then I waited a moment. And then I said, "What's the matter? Are you broke? Come on, mister. You're not asleep.
You talking to me? What do you want?
The $5 you just took out of my purse. Look, don't make me call the conductor. Hand it over and you'll forget it."
Okay, you win.
Thanks.
I gotta find someone in L.A. I'm short of cash or I wouldn't have taken it.
Well, if you need it that bad.
Never mind.
You want to borrow $1?
I'll get along.
Well, I hope your friend owes you something.
No. I owe him.
I don't get it. If you're broke, how can you pay him?
I can pay him. He's a fat man who likes peppermint, see?
I don't see. That's all right with me. Well, I'm going to try and get some sleep. Don't let me crowd you.
Don't worry. I won't.
Morning, sir. Up bright and early, sir.
That's right, Porter. I have to beat that crowd to breakfast. Diner up ahead?
Yes, sir. Second car, sir. Right through this coast.
Well, thanks. Trains are all so mobbed these...
It's through the coast, sir. You'll go right. What's the matter, sir? Anything wrong?
No, I just changed my mind, that's all. I think I'll wait till we get to L.A. But I saw him, Tommy. He was on the train, sleeping with his head on his shoulder.
You know, the big boss ain't gonna like this much. You should have wired ahead to the police.
On what grounds? I'm not supposed to know what he looks like. I tell you, he's a killer. He'll come after me now.
What about that girl?
Oh, she's a nightclub performer. I hired her up north. Tommy, how could I guess she even knew him?
What are you gonna do about her?
She's having dinner with me tonight.
Your place, huh? Up on the hills?
Yeah. Maybe she isn't working with Raven. Maybe he just sat down beside her. Maybe she...
The big boss don't like maybes. You better make sure.
Too bad it had to rain, Miss Graham. On a clear night, you can see all the city lights from here. It's rather beautiful.
Don't apologize. It's beautiful as it is.
Well, I'll agree to that with you here. You really honor my little place.
Little? I wonder what you'd call big. I bet this house takes a lot of servants.
Oh, no, just Tommy. He's a sort of combination chauffeur and cook. I don't like to have a lot of servants underfoot.
I see.
By the way, I looked for you on the train last night. I thought we might be in the same car.
I was in the coach. It's cheaper, you know.
Yes, but isn't it rather uncomfortable?
Not for an old trooper. Unless you're unlucky and your neighbor snores.
Were you unlucky?
Oh, no. I sat with a very charming old lady. She told me all about farming in Iowa and... What's the matter?
You're lying. You do know him.
What are you talking about?
He's after me and you're helping him. He'll use that gun, the one he used on Baker.
Baker? You mean that...
But I'll protect myself. You hear that? I'll protect myself. Tommy! Tommy!
Tied up like a Christmas package, boss. Didn't even put a scratch on her. You know, the way she liked the rain, she ought to be...
Don't tell me, Tommy. I don't want to hear. I don't want to know how you're going to do it.
Okay. It's just between me and the reservoir.
I'll be at the club. I'll wait till you come. Be careful, Tommy.
Oh.
Relax, sister. The bad man's going away. Yeah? We'll be going, too, pretty soon. When there's no one around the reservoir. Sure. Pretty soon.
You know, it's bad luck to whistle in the house.
Huh? Who are you?
I just told you. Bad luck. Yeah, take a shot of that liquor. It'll do you good.
No. I'm all right now. You're after Gates, aren't you?
I got here too late. He must have gone out the front as I came in the back.
But how did you ever find the place?
Phone books got numbers. They got addresses, too. What's Gates got against you?
He saw us on the train. He thinks I'm your girl.
How'd he catch up with you?
I work at his nightclub.
We'll have to get out of here. Somebody might have heard the gun. There's a car in the garage.
Won't do you any good. I'll get you. You can't go around killing people.
Who knows I killed him, except you.
What do you mean? What are you trying to say? What is it? What are you going to do?
I don't know yet. I don't know.
second act of the Lady Esther Screen Guild play will follow in a moment. Now, a word from Lady Esther.
Have you ever noticed this when you close your eyes? Your sense of touch is sharpened and your fingers are suddenly a lot more sensitive. Try it. Shut your eyes now and run your fingertips slowly over your face. Do you feel those dry little flakes? Do you feel those tiny, rough particles of skin? Well, that's the dry tissue nature is trying to throw off. It must be removed. Otherwise, it will clog and stretch the pore openings. But even worse, it will ruin the effect of your face powder. For face powder can't stay on flaky skin. It's bound to look rough, patchy, and uneven. But you can remove those dry particles of skin so quickly, and in a gentle, soothing way with Lady Esther Four-Purpose Face Cream. All you do is rub Lady Esther Face Cream well into your skin. Wipe it off, and along with it come all those dry flakes, all those rough, clinging particles. And as soon as they've gone, the vibrant, young, new skin beneath is revealed, often making as much as a 10-year difference in your appearance. Now, you don't need to take my word for all this. You can prove it in 30 seconds with a patch test. Just rub Lady Esther Face Cream on one side of your face. Wipe it off and apply your face powder. Then compare that side of your face with the other and see the difference. Feel the difference with your fingers. Your friends will tell you how much younger and lovelier you look. So make this convincing test tonight if you possibly can. You'll find Lady Esther Four-Purpose Face Cream wherever good cosmetics are sold.
Lady Esther Screen Guild players in Act 2 of This Gun for Hire, starring Veronica Lake and Alan Ladd.
That was his mistake for Carl. You see, Gates got nervous. He decided he'd go home and have a look. So he went, and he looked, and he found what was there.
Hello. Listen, there's been a murder at my home. My chauffeur, somebody killed him and stole my car. Yes, a 1941 Buick sedan, 9C6703. You've got to find him, you hear? And remember, he's dangerous. He's a killer. Whoever took that car is a killer.
We were near North Hollywood when they spotted us, but he turned for the hills and pulled on the gas. And somehow up in those winding roads he managed to lose them. We hid the car behind some trees, and then we left the road and cut through the brush. Almost an hour in the wet and the dark. And just when I thought I was going to drop, we found the shack.
Crummy joint, but it's empty.
It's dry. Can you light a match?
I guess so.
There's a bit of a candle there.
Okay. It'll do till morning.
And then what? Gates? You know, I don't like him very much either. In a way, you might say I'm after him, too.
1 minute earlier at that house, and I'd have had him.
Well, I think I know where he's going to be in the morning.
Where?
In his office.
Where's that?
You have to tell me something first. I want to know what you've got against him.
I did a job for him. Paid me off in hot money. Wanted me in the pen where I couldn't talk.
What was the job?
Your turn now.
You haven't told me.
I said it's your turn.
Is it nitrochemical?
Thanks. Got the filly's belly with something sweet. The money man behind him.
Who's that?
I don't know yet. If Gates will tell me, I'll pump it out of him. What's that? Hey, it's a cat. Hey, this is good luck. Cats bring you luck. Come here, Puss.
All skin and bones. Must be hungry.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Skinny. We got nothing to feed you.
You like cats, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, they're on their own. They don't double-cross you.
This one could do with a friend. So could you.
What are you trying to do? Make me go soft? Well, you can save your oil. I don't go soft for anybody, see?
The rain has stopped.
Yeah. Ought to be light in a couple of hours.
And then Gates.
Yeah. And then Gates.
You sound as though you'd get a kick out of it.
You've never done it.
Have you?
You don't know.
Have you? You killed Baker, didn't you? Gates told me. That's what he paid you for, wasn't it?
Yeah, with hot money.
Who's the man behind him?
That's what I want to find out.
Maybe I can help you. You got any ideas?
Baker was blackmailing the guy behind Gates. Going to send a letter to Washington. I got it from him and gave it to Sweet Tooth.
What was in it?
Some papers, some kind of arithmetic on it.
Like a chemical formula?
How should I know?
Was the letter going to Senator Burnett?
Burnett? Yeah, I think so. There was a name on the envelope.
Then I know what it was.
What?
Gas. Poison gas. They're selling it to our enemies.
So?
So tomorrow they'll be dropping it on our boys. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
What's the matter, Puss?
Did you hear what I said? It's important. This war is everybody's business. Yours, too.
Mr. Gates is still eating his peppermints. That's my business.
Stop thinking about yourself for a minute and start thinking about...
Now, John. Listen. How's that light? Quiet, Skinny. Quiet, I tell you gotta be...
I saw a light in that shack. Keep your flash on it, Mike. If he's in there, we got him covered, Lieutenant. Hey, you in the shack! Come out of there! Listen, smart guy, we got every foot of these hills covered. We just sit here till morning and smoke you out. Mike, go bring up some more of the boys. Right, sir?
I guess it doesn't matter now. You can let the cat up.
It's dead.
Let it up.
It's dead. I killed my own luck. Just a few more hours. That's all I needed. Just a few more hours.
If you had them, I suppose you'd still go after Gates.
What do you want me to do? Send him some candy?
No, I want you to make him talk. Tell who's behind him, names, everything, a signed confession. Don't you see? That's more important than killing him. It's important to your country.
Take your hands off me.
But look...
Get away from me, I said. Get away from me and keep your mouth shut.
We light in an hour. It'd be almost impossible to make a break then. There's too many of them out there.
You want that stuff from Gates pretty bad, don't you?
Yes. I'd give almost anything to get it.
Okay. Then I got a proposition. Help me out of here and I'll get it for you.
How could I?
Still dark enough. You got that raincoat, you can wear my hat. Make up your mind, it's 50-50 my neck if they double-cross me.
All right. It's a deal.
You go out the door. Start down the hill. With those lights on, they'll see you. But don't run or they'll know it's a woman. When they spot you, pull her into the brush and hide. That'll give me time to get out the back window. Stall as long as you can and come out with your hands up.
Okay. You're doing a fine thing, you know. And that's not sucker talk either.
Go on. Get going.
What do you mean he got away? You told me you had him trapped last night. Now look, Commissioner, I want some protection. I've got my rights as a citizen. I have some influence. I'm going to hold you responsible. He got away. He'll be coming after me. Miss Williams! Miss Williams! Miss Williams, I want you to... Raven.
Don't move.
Raven, you wouldn't kill an innocent man. It wasn't my fault. I was taking orders.
Don't move. Who are you stooging for?
Brewster. He's the head of Nitro. I was just an agent, honest.
Where did Baker figure?
He was holding us up. He knew we were selling to the highest bidder. Brewster told me to get rid of him.
Okay. Take that sheet of paper. Write down what you just said to me and sign your name.
Oh, listen, Raven, I'm a rich man.
Come on, pick up that pen. Pick it up while you still can.
There it is, Raven, the whole story. What are you going to do now?
First, I'm going to read it, see, and then I'm going to hand it over to
Mr. Gates, the police are here to... Oh.
the cops. One final double cross.
No, Raven, wait!
Tell it to there. There it is. Put down that gun. Put it down, I
So scared of being soft. He never was. Not really. Except perhaps that very last moment before he died. When he looked up at me and sort of smiled and said,
You played square, didn't you? Yeah, I thought you would. I thought you would.
For contributing your fine performances to the support of the Motion Picture Relief Fund. And now, before we tell you about next week's show, here is a word from one of America's foremost beauty authorities, Lady Esther.
Do you know exactly what happens when you apply Lady Esther four-purpose face cream? I'll tell you. First, your skin is cleaned. Cleaned gently but thoroughly. Even the stubborn, deeply embedded dirt in the pore openings is eased out and wiped away. Second, Lady Esther face cream softens your skin, loosens and absorbs the dry, clinging flakes. That makes your face powder look much smoother and lovelier. Third, Lady Esther face cream helps nature refine the pores, helps the stretched pore openings return to normal, and that makes your skin look much finer and more delicate. And fourth, Lady Esther face cream leaves a perfect base for powder, smooth as satin. Remember, you can prove all this in 30 seconds with a patch test. Just rub Lady Esther face cream on one side of your face, wipe it off, and apply your powder. Then compare that side of your face with the other. See and feel the difference. Compare results with those from any other cream, regardless of price. Make the patch test tonight if possible. You can get Lady Esther four-purpose face cream wherever good cosmetics are sold.
The Lady Esther Screen Guild players will present Abroad with Two Yanks that will star Dennis O'Keefe, William Bendix, and Marjorie Reynolds. Veronica Lake can currently be seen in Paramount's Technicolor production Bring On the Girls. Alan Ladd will soon be seen in the Paramount picture Salty O'Rourke. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players. The Lady Esther Screen Guild play tonight, Abroad with Two Yanks. The starring players...
This is Dennis O'Keefe.
This is Marjorie Reynolds.
And this is William Bendix.
Tonight, Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players in a radio presentation of the hilarious Edward Small production, Abroad with Two Yanks. It stars William Bendix as Biff, Dennis O'Keefe as Jeff, and Marjorie Reynolds as Joyce. Australia, the fifth continent. Of course, the maps may show it out in the Pacific. But ask any U.S. Marine and he'll say,
Australia? Yeah, the city limits of Los Angeles.
Now, Marines plus furlough always equals girls. So meet Joyce Stewart and her friend who are currently working in a service canteen close by the docks in a large Australian port.
Joyce, there's a transport in from Guadalcanal. Do you think we have enough donuts and coffee?
I hope so, Phyllis.
Good heavens, what's that?
It's a mating call of the United States Marines.
But they sound just like wolves.
Well?
Just a minute, you guys. I got a word for you. All right, you're ashore. But don't you bozos forget we're guests in Australia. And if you do forget it, there'll be a shore patrol to help you remember. Okay, dismiss.
Yeah, nice guy, Biff, that sergeant. I bet his folks went in the morning when he was born.
That sergeant, he wasn't born, he was assembled. Hey, Jeff, pipe the guy in the Boy Scout pants.
What do you know? Streamlined diapers.
Cheerio, Yanks. Welcome to Australia.
Oh, thanks, Mac, thanks. Say, maybe you can give me the inside. How's the tomatoes in this burg?
Tomatoes?
Tomatoes, what's the difference? How are they?
Oh, they're most plentiful. Bit soft, perhaps, at this time of the year. But they're abundant and very inexpensive.
You hear that, Biff? Abundant and inexpensive. Brother.
At ease, glamour boy. You'll have to pardon him, sir. My frustrated friend was referring to feminine companionship.
Oh, I see. You mean Sheila's. Say, when they get a deco at your boko, they'll up it for fair.
Hey, what's that, Biff? Australian double talk?
No. He said that when the girls get a deco, that's a look. At my boko, that's my nose. They'll run like... Just a minute, Digger. Were you casting aspersions at my proboscis?
Your what?
My nose. Know that I glory in this nose of mine. For a great nose indicates a great man. Genial, courteous, intellectual. Cyrano de Bergerac, Act 1, Scene 5.
Now, look, I didn't mean to poke Borak at you, Yank. Straight dinkum, I didn't. Your boko's ding-dong, and you should have no trouble at all smooging with those Sheilas.
Say, these guys speak worse English than Englishmen. All right, quiz kid, translate.
Well, he said he meant no offense, and my nose is very nice, and I ought to dazzle the local ladies.
Well, shall we start, Tyrone? What's the matter? Aren't you coming?
Well, look, Jeff, I gotta go back on a boat.
Back on a boat when there's dames on shore?
Well, I forgot my book of poetry. I miss it, Jeff.
Oh, how can you? You must be unconscious. Well, okay, stupid. I'm off on the prowl.
I say, Yank, you don't really prefer books to a bit of shivu, do you?
No. I just wanted that carbo on Casanova out of the way. You see, I saved an Australian fellow near Lobos, pulled him out of a burning plane. He said if I ever got down here, I should look up this girl.
Oh, I see. Say, that's very good. Very good.
What do you think I am, a dope? Don't answer that.
Coffee and donuts at the counter, men. Make yourselves at home. This canteen is yours.
Oh, excuse me, miss. I wonder if
What's
you...
What's the matter, Yank? Not hungry?
I'd rather just feast my eyes, beautiful.
Oh, just like all Marines. As soon as you land, you...
Wait, what?
Oh, I almost forgot. Is there a man named Koraski in this your outfit?
Biff Koraski?
But then you know him. Is he here? I simply have to find him.
Oh, you have to find him, huh? Well, suppose I told you your search is over.
You mean you're Corporal Koraski?
I'm not his Uncle Stanislaus.
So you're Biff. Well, I've got something for you. The biggest kiss in Australia.
You want to try any other continents?
I live on only one continent, so only one kiss.
Yeah, too bad you don't live on 1,000 islands.
I suppose you've guessed that I'm Joyce Stewart.
Joyce Stewart? Oh, why, sure. Joyce Stewart, yes, indeed. Gosh, baby, this is a wonderful welcome, but what's it all about?
Cyril.
Oh, of course, yes, Cyril. Good old Cyril. Cyril.
Oh, Biff, you remember Cyril. You saved his life.
Did I? I mean, I did. Yes, of course. Oh, certainly. That was at Bougainville.
No, New Georgia.
Oh, that's Cyril. Yeah, well, I thought you meant the Cyril that I saved on Bougainville. You wouldn't want to pay off for that Cyril, too, would you?
I'm on duty now, but I'll expect you at the house this afternoon and bring your buddies. You look so strange. You will come, won't you?
Are you kidding?
Just for once to get away from that two-time Lothario. What a break.
Oh, hello. You're one of his buddies, I suppose. Come in.
Well, excuse me. I'm looking for Miss Joyce Stewart.
I'm Joyce Stewart.
Oh, that's swell. I got a note for you, Miss Stewart. Here, look.
Why, it's Cyril's writing, addressed to Biff Karaski. Well, he happens to be here right now.
Cyril?
No, Biff.
Well, naturally.
Would you like to see him?
Who?
Biff.
Oh, a game. Look, I see Biff every time I shave. Believe me, I'd rather look at you.
Who are you?
Well, the name is Karaski. Just call me Biff.
Biff? You mean to say
Joycey! Joycey, where are you? I'm getting lonely.
Hey, what's that guy doing here?
If you're referring to Biff Karaski...
I tell you, I'm Biff Karaski. That's Jeff Reardon.
Oh, is he a friend of yours?
Yeah, it says here.
Biff, oh, boy.
Cyril!
How marvelous. Joyce telephoned me you were here. What wonderful luck. I'm still on hospital leave.
Cyril, you're just in time. I was beginning to think the world was full of Biffs.
Full of Biffs?
Well, she means a friend of mine. Tried to tell her he was me.
Why? Do you think he's, well, you know.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's it. The guy's balmy. Yeah.
Well, he introduced himself at the canteen. He's been telling me how he saved Cyril's life. He was very brave.
Yeah, I know. He's really a pathetic case.
Pretty bad, eh?
Yeah, it's from that time we hit the silk at Willamette's. Poor Jeff, he had his parachute on upside down.
He didn't land on his head.
And how? He made a one-point landing.
What do you think we ought to do?
Well, we'll have to humor him, I guess. He might get violent, especially when he sees me.
Oh, then perhaps we two had better go in first. Come along, Joyce.
Gosh, Joycey, I thought you'd never get to...
Hello, Biff, old chap.
Hiya, buddy.
Biff, isn't this a nice surprise?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's not all. Oh, Jeff Reardon.
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, I'm glad I found you, Biff, old boy. The colonel says you can take his car if you want to run over and see your pal MacArthur.
Yeah,
It's okay. You can just go right along.
I think maybe I'd better be going.
But, Biff, you can't run out on me. Not the first time we get together. And besides, you're forgetting.
Forgetting?
Yes, you made me promise to play the bagpipes for you.
That's a swell idea. I hear it's very soothing.
Father's bagpipes are in the study.
Right you are. I'll go and fetch them.
Oh, Jeff, we really shouldn't intrude on old friends. Would you like to see the town with me?
Then how? Come on, baby. Let you and me...
Not you, Biff. I wouldn't dare take you away from Cyril. I'll go get my coat.
I'll be waiting, dear.
Yeah, sure you will, but you might be a corpse. What's the idea, Biff?
What do you mean?
All this funny business.
Why, Jeff, I didn't notice anything funny, except that they think you're just a tiny bit nuts.
Oh, what a gag. If I can make her think I'm the doctor, I'm in solid.
Hello?
Hello, Miss Stewart. I took the liberty of phoning you, Miss Stewart. I'm, Dr. French, the medical officer in charge of young Private Reardon's case.
Yes, doctor?
I understand the boy was at your home, and I must tell you he's suffering from a rare mental disorder. Schizophrenia. Split personality. Apt to think he's someone else, you know.
Oh, yes, Dr. French, I know.
Oh, frankly, Miss Stewart, you can help him if you will.
I can? How?
Well, never try to cross him. Grant any request he might make, within reason, that is. If you don't, he may become psychotic, violent, you know. You can always tell he starts to, sort of hiccup.
Oh, I understand, doctor. Anything else?
Well, he seems to be disturbed by a certain uncouth person, Biff Karaski. If you ever find the two of them together, get Reardon away as quickly as possible. Oh, thank you for your interest, Miss Stewart. Goodbye. What a line. Hiccups.
Hey,
Reardon, what's the matter with you?
Oh, don't mind me, Sarge. Don't mind me. I'm nuts.
I think he is.
Oh, it's so lovely out here in the garden, Biff. I think it's one of my favorite places.
Yeah, mine too, when you're in it, Joyce.
Why, Biff, what a lovely compliment. Do you always say things like that to girls?
Well, no, but sometimes I write them.
Write them?
Yeah, poems. Here's one I wrote coming over here on the boat. Here's to the flower-like beauty of all the most gorgeous femmes. Men admire their cheeks so like roses, but they always look first at the stems.
That's not very romantic.
Oh, well, I got a romantic one, too. Would you like to hear it?
Oh, I most certainly would. Well, go on.
Okay. Your hair like gossamer threads to me. Your eyes like limpid pools of love. Sappy, ain't it?
Why, not at all. It's very sincere. Did you really write it?
Mm-hmm. Last night after I left you. Joyce, I want to tell you something.
Great S. Quentin Quayle is here. S. Quentin Quayle, foreign correspondent extraordinary.
Why, it's that poor boy. He thinks he's a Mr. Quayle.
Well, that Quayle better fly out of here or I'll put him on toast.
Joyce. Joyce, my sweet, what a sight for these tired... Could be most anything. Could be most anything.
You better keep traveling with those eyes. You got the bags under them all packed.
That face. That is a face, isn't it? Take it away. And speaking of going away, Miss Stewart, is that your Austin car that's sitting in the drive?
Why, yes, it is, but...
Ah, come, we're leaving by Austin this very minute. An extensive tour of your native Australia. I will soak up local color, among other things. And then off again, just the two of us.
Oh, I'm afraid that's impossible. You see, I have my duties at the canteen.
You dare refuse my simple request? You dare refuse S. Quentin Quayle?
Please, Mr. Quayle.
Oh, good. You concede. I shall wait for my lady at the car.
Joyce, you don't mean you're going with that guy?
I'll have to. I can't tell you why now.
But a guy like that all over Australia, you...
Oh, don't be silly. I just mean as far as the country club.
All right. So it's a nice club. It's a beautiful club. But I tell you, there are too many people here.
Well, naturally, they're all my friends. I want you to meet them. Oh, now what's the matter?
People, they do strange things to me.
Oh, Jeff, try to be yourself.
Yeah, I wish I could. But when I'm in a crowd, I always imagine I'm someone else. Now, let me see. Who'll I be? Well, what do you know? An old friend of mine. Excuse me while I say hello. Joyce, he'd like to meet you. May I introduce you, please? Joyce, won't you say hello?
How do you do?
You know, Joyce, that fuzzy little rascal beat me out of a blue ribbon once. I got a bone to pick with him. He just barked the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Jeff, are you trying to tell me you understand what that dog says?
Why, certainly. He said that the strap he has on is only borrowed, so he's really out on lend-leash. I wonder if he's heard the one about the two dogs and the bone that...
Oh, Jeff, this is frightfully embarrassing. Everybody is looking at us.
Oh, you should have heard what he just said about you. You know, he said you were the most beautiful, gorgeous... Well, it suffers a little in translation.
Jeff. Oh, Jeff, I'm afraid we'll have to leave.
Oh, that's fine. Down at the beach?
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. What do you say?
Woof, a woof.
Huh?
I thought you understood dog language. That means that Lassie's going home. Goodbye.
The second act of the Lady Esther Screen Guild play will follow in a moment. Now, a word from Lady Esther.
Do you know the mistake many women make in the care of their skin? They use too many different kinds of preparations. They use one thing to open the pores, another to close the pores. Any doctor will tell you that's wrong. For under such treatment, the pore openings finally refuse to function, in fact, remain wide open. Then, dirt settles in the open pores, and you know that causes blackheads. All your skin needs is just one cream that cleans it thoroughly, that softens and refines its texture, that removes the dry particles nature is constantly throwing off, dry flakes that clog and stretch the pore openings and ruin the effect of face powder. Lady Esther Face Cream, this one cream by itself, does all the 4 things your skin needs most. A single application leaves your skin so smooth and fresh, so free of dry, flaky particles, that when you apply your face powder, the effect is truly beautiful. Your powder looks so smooth and even and stays on so much longer. You can prove it in 30 seconds with the patch test. Just rub Lady Esther Face Cream on one side of your face and then wipe it off completely. With it will come all those rough little flakes, revealing the new, young skin beneath, skin smooth as velvet. Run your fingertips over it and feel how the dry, rough flakes are gone. Then apply your powder and see the difference. See the fascinating new smoothness and clarity of your skin. Make the patch test tonight if you possibly can. It takes only 30 seconds, half a minute. You'll find Lady Esther 4-Purpose Face Cream wherever good cosmetics are sold.
And now, Lady Esther presents the second act of Abroad with Two Yanks, starring Marjorie Reynolds, and in their original roles, Dennis O'Keefe and William Bendix. Now, Joyce is a very pretty girl, and a smart girl, too. Pretty soon she's wise to Jeff Reardon's game, but she decides she'll play along with him. The one who won't play is Biff Koreski. At the canteen dance that night, he and Jeff exchange a few words. Words lead to blows, and blows lead right straight to the brig, which is where we find them now.
Fine thing. We spend our leave in the brig. Just as I was going into high with Joyce. It's your fault, Flat Top. You started the riot. Did you hear what I said?
I would thank you not to interrupt my cogitation. I happen to be composing a letter.
A letter? Who to?
Well, possibly you would like to hear it, chump. My dear, dear Joyce, owing to unforeseen circumstances, Mr. Reardon and I may not see you again. At the moment, we are slightly confined in the Wogasoo. Spelled backwards, that's Hooskow.
Well, I won't be here long. I'm getting out.
Oh, yeah? Why do you think I arranged it so you'd be here, so I could keep you away from Joyce?
Oh, so that's the setup.
Yeah.
I ought to lay you out.
Well, go ahead. Pop me one. Then they'll keep you in here twice as long. Ah, sweet little Joycey. I can see her now. I ring the doorbell, and she trips to the door. She takes the doorbell in one hand and me in the other. And then she looks into my eyes and says, "Ah, darling, my sweet, my precious, my love, kiss me on my ruby lips."
Hey, that's not bad.
Thank you. I'll lay off, Sarge. I was only acting.
Well, that's what I mean. Say, how would you like to be a chorus girl?
How would you like to be Queen of the May and get crowned?
No, I mean it. I'm putting on a show, the Marine Follies, and I need some dames for the chorus line.
Oh, not me, Sarge. No dice, no.
Well, it's too bad you feel that way about it. We're rehearsing in the Royal Theater, right down in the heart of town.
The Royal Theater? In the heart of town? Say, you know, Sarge, I'm really an actress at heart. You can count me in.
Now you're talking, Jeff. I'll get you out of the brig. Come on.
Hey, Sarge.
Yeah?
You mean that would get us out of the brig?
Well, what else?
Well, then wait for me, Sarge. Here comes your leading lady.
Pretty smooth, think, Lieutenant?
Of course, some of those costumes bulge a little in the wrong places. Let's see them do the opening.
Yeah, right. Okay, you guys, take your places. All right, hit it, Steve. Hey, no, wait a minute. Somebody's missing.
Hey, that's funny. Wasn't Reardon in that line a moment ago?
Yeah, Reardon. And Koreski, too. But don't you worry, Lieutenant. They can't get very far in those women's dresses. I'll pick them up. And I think I know right where to find them.
Hello? Stewart residence. Cyril North speaking. Who? Oh, hello, Jeff. Oh, I'm terribly sorry, old man. I couldn't possibly get Joyce to the telephone now. Oh, but I really can't. You see, they're holding some sort of a charity bazaar out here, and Joyce is busy selling kisses. As a matter of fact, I was just going out to... Hello? Hello, are you there? My word, he must be in a hurry. Hello? Oh, hello, Biff. This is Cyril. Oh, yes, he just phoned a moment ago. I imagine he's on his way out here now. You see, I mentioned that Joyce was selling kisses and... Hello? Hello, Biff. I say, those chaps are impetuous, aren't they?
Oh, I beg your pardon, madam, but could you direct me to the kissing booth?
No, I can't. And even if I could, I wouldn't.
Biff.
Yeah, surprised you, didn't I?
What are you doing here?
I'm sticking right with you.
Well, you won't stick long. If anybody gets a good look at that kisser, they'll throw you right out of here.
What's the matter? Ain't my makeup on straight?
Your makeup is on straight, but your face is crooked.
Yeah, well, you ought to get a load of that puss of yours. I've seen better pans under ice boxes. Temper. You're talking to a lady, dearie.
Oh, look, Biff, if you...
And don't call me Biff. Remember, someone might overhear. Just call me Gwenny.
Okay, Gwenny, and you may call me Aggie.
Why, Aggie, you haggy. You have a face that meant gopher. A gopher face.
If you don't scram out of here, I'm gonna...
Ixnay on the Ackenscray. Here comes the name Dave.
Hello there, ladies. Welcome to the Soldiers' Comfort Fund Bazaar.
Oh, thank you.
Have a good time and make yourselves comfortable.
Oh, I'd love to. But just between us girls, I'll never be comfortable in this new victory girdle.
Why not?
It keeps asking for unconditional surrender.
Oh, don't mind my friend, dearie. She's the lumpy type.
Oh, well, dearie, I'd rather have my lumps than your middle-aged spread.
My, you two are very frank, aren't you?
Yes, I mean, could you direct me to the kissing booth?
Could you direct us to the kissing booth?
Yes, you just go through that door there and turn right. You can't miss it. Joyce Stewart is selling kisses, and Cyril North is her best customer.
Oh!
Cyril North.
Can you imagine that guy muscling in our territory without...
I beg your pardon.
Oh, that's just American slang, dearie. It means San Fran, Santa Monica, Fran, Robinson.
Oh!
Come along, Aggie. We're late.
All right, Gwenny. Not so fast. These high heels are killing me.
Oh, these ain't no wedges I'm wearing. Come on. Pull in your bustle.
I'm not wearing a bustle.
Well, pull it in, whatever it is. Hey, there's the kissing booth. Let's go.
Here you are, Joyce. Another pound, another kiss.
What a dependable customer you are, Cyril.
Well, after all, it's hard to find good merchandise these days. And I do like your merchandise here. In fact, there's just no substitute for it.
Well, you're very fortunate. This is one product that hasn't been curtailed by wartime shortages.
Are you featuring any specials today? Anything marked down?
Oh, sorry, no.
Samples?
Oh, definitely no. Oh, there are others waiting now. If you will...
Oh, very well. If you'll permit me, then I'll try one on for size.
Oh, cash in advance, please.
Oh, yes. Now?
Oh, wait a minute, Cyril. These must be my relief girls. You could buy kisses from one of them.
They look like fugitives from a racing stable.
Oh, hello, girls. Which one of you wants to start kissing?
I do.
Oh, my, but you're anxious. Don't tell me you've never kissed a man before.
A man? So help me, I haven't.
Well, Cyril, here's your chance at some brand new merchandise.
Cyril! Why, it's Cyril, you old squirrel. You may kiss me for nothing.
Madam, will you kindly refrain from hanging on my neck?
Oh, come on now, darling. Imagine meeting you here. Do you remember the last time? Oh, come. Be my target for tonight.
Oh, go ahead, Cyril. It's for charity.
If them guys kiss each other, it ain't charity, it's murder.
Why, isn't that Biff's voice?
It ain't the voice of the turtle. Now, break it up, Jeff. Break it up.
Jeff? You mean that funny-looking woman is Jeff, and you're Biff?
Who'd you think I was, Gravel Gertie?
Frankly, yes.
Well, since you two obviously can't take over the kissing booth, I guess I'll have to stay here on the job.
Oh, darling, you're wonderful. I'll to kiss you. In fact, I think I will.
Hey, 7, 8, 9, 10.
He's out.
Thank you, darling.
Hey, he didn't pay.
Oh, that wasn't charity. That was love. We're announcing our engagement this afternoon.
Engagement? And what am I doing here?
Shall we dance?
Oh.
There they are! Go get them!
Run, Gwenny, run! It's Wiggins and the 4 MPs.
Good heavens, Aggie. Rustle your bustle and get out of my way.
Yes, sir. What could be worse than masquerading as 2 dames and getting chased by 5 Marines?
Really being 2 dames and getting chased by 5 Marines.
Thank you, William Bendix, Dennis O'Keefe, and Marjorie Reynolds for a delightful performance.
It was a pleasure to be here, Mr. Bradley. We know that the Motion Picture Relief Fund and its country house, so vital to all of us in the industry, are supported largely by these radio programs, and we're all proud to help the good work. And now, before we tell you about next week's show, here's a word from one of America's best-known beauty authorities, Lady Esther.
Thank you, Miss Reynolds. Ladies, it's easy to make claims. But it's not always easy to prove claims. Now, I say Lady Esther Face Cream will give your skin new life and freshness, will give your skin a smooth clarity and translucence on which face powder looks beautiful. And I prove it in just 30 seconds with the patch test. Here's all you do. Just rub Lady Esther Face Cream on one side of your face. Wipe it off completely. Then see and feel the difference. Run your fingertips over that patch of skin and feel how the dry, rough flakes are gone. Apply your face powder and see the vibrant color and freshness of it on the smooth, new beauty of your skin. Now that will happen to your entire face when you apply Lady Esther Face Cream. For 1, it thoroughly cleans your skin. 2, it softens your skin. 3, it helps nature refine the pores. And 4, it leaves a smooth, perfect base for powder. Remember, words don't count. It's results that count. That's why I ask you to make the patch test and compare the results with those from any cream you've ever used, regardless of price. Lady Esther Face Cream beautifies the tone, texture, and entire appearance of your skin. And the patch test proves it in 30 seconds.
Next week, the Lady Esther Screen Guild players will present The Mask of Dimitrios. It will star Zachary Scott, Peter Lorre, and Sidney Greenstreet. Be sure to listen. William Bendix will soon be seen in the Paramount picture 2 years before The Masked, and can be heard Sundays on his own radio program, The Life of Riley, on another network. Dennis O'Keefe can soon be seen in Paramount's Hal Wallace production, The Affairs of Susan. Marjorie Reynolds is currently being seen in the Paramount Technicolor production, Bring on the Girls. Music on tonight's program was arranged and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. You save enough on the largest size jar of Lady Esther Face Cream to buy a box of Lady Esther Face Powder. So remember, ask for the largest size. This is Truman Bradley speaking for Lady Esther. Thank you and good night. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players. The Lady Esther Screen Guild play tonight, The Mask of Dimitrios. The starring players.
This is Sidney Greenstreet.
And this is Peter Lorre.
Tonight, Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild players in an intriguing story of drama, suspense, and murder, The Mask of Dimitrios, based on the Warner Brothers picture. It stars Peter Lorre as Professor Leyden and Sidney Greenstreet as Eric Peters.
know the whole story. It's difficult to believe it all happened to me. But one must make a start, I suppose. So just for a beginning, let's put down a date. Istanbul, Turkey, 1938. A woman strolling along the beach approaches some jetsam cast up by the sea. She glances at the little mound, turns half away, turns suddenly back to it, and...
Nothing else on the body, Colonel Hackey. The identification card, that's all.
Thank you, Sergeant. Dimitrios Macropolis. And now, at last, the case is officially closed.
And so it might have been. The case of Dimitrios might have been closed. Only that very afternoon, at a little party in Istanbul, I was introduced to Colonel Hackey, chief of the Turkish secret police.
A pleasure, sir, to meet you at last. So you're the famous Professor Light.
Oh, please, not so famous and no longer a professor. I've been retired.
Well, how fortunate. Now you can devote yourself to your writing, to your murder mysteries, huh?
Well, possibly, if I can find material.
Material? The world's full of it. Why, just today... Tell me, have you ever heard of Dimitrios?
Dimitrios. That was the first time I ever heard his name. Dimitrios Macropolis, who sometimes called himself Dimitrios Talat, a spy, an assassin, a murderer, hunted by every policeman in Europe, but never once taken into custody. It was a strange tale that Colonel Hackey wove, a story he claimed that had no ending. But I protested the story was ended. Dimitrios was dead. He was lying in a morgue that very moment. Whereupon the colonel smiled and suggested we go down and make sure.
On this slab, Colonel, this is Dimitrios.
Oh, yes, thanks. Ugly devil, isn't he, Mr. Leiden?
Well, I'm afraid I'm no judge. I've never looked at a dead man before.
Well, this ought to satisfy you for a while. Ah, what a pity that mouth will never talk again. There's still so much I'd like to know. For 16 years, ever since that day in Smyrna, it was my hope to get him. And now I have him. Spewed up by the sea in a cheap, shoddy suit. Dead by stabbing. Mr. Leiden, would you care to see the wound?
No, I don't think so, Colonel.
Had enough, huh?
Yes, quite enough. It wasn't true. I hadn't had enough. That night in my hotel room, trying to sleep, my mind was full of Dimitrios. What a character, I thought. What a story he would make. If I could root out the things the police never knew. In Smyrna, in Sofia, in Belgrade, and Paris. There must be people who knew him. All over Europe, there must be people, and... Oh, then I told myself, no, this thing is foolish. It's unthinkable. It's absurd. But even as my mind rejected it, my hand reached out for the telephone.
Good evening. Yes, this is the desk clerk. Mr. Leiden? Oh, yes, sir. Ticket to Smyrna for tomorrow morning. Yes, sir. I'll take care of it at once. You're welcome, sir. Good night.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, yes, sir.
Is Mr. Constantine Gullis staying at this hotel?
Gullis? No, sir. No one by that name.
Thank you. Sorry I've troubled you.
No trouble, sir. We're never busy at this hour. I was just reading about this murder.
Murder?
Dimitrios Macropolis. They found him on the beach.
Dimitrios?
Yes, sir. Did you know him, sir?
No. No, it's just that... Thank you very much. Good night. Are you sure? Are you positive?
Well, you can look around the morgue yourself, sir. Not a body in the place.
The paper said this man named Dimitrios.
Oh, him. He's gone. Yes. Cremated. About an hour ago.
That man whose life was to cross my own, So strangely. I didn't know about him then. I had no hint of him until I got to Smyrna.
I understand what you wish, Mr. Lyman. I will get it for you.
You're sure you know exactly what I want?
But of course. In 1922, a certain Conrad, a moneylender, is stabbed to death.
Uh-huh.
A man named Driss Abdul is charged with the crime.
That's right.
But he goes to his death blaming another man, a certain Dimitrios. You wish the records of the trial.
Are you sure you can get them?
For 500 piastres? I have them.
You have them?
Right here, my friend.
But how?
A month ago, a certain man comes to me.
Yeah?
He asks me to get them for him. He pays me well.
Why didn't you tell me?
You did not ask.
What was he like? Can you describe him? How did he talk?
Like an Englishman, perhaps.
Yeah.
Or maybe a Frenchman. Or an American. Who knows?
I didn't think much about it then. By now, there was only one thing in my mind: to follow that crooked trail through the years, from Istanbul to Smyrna, from Smyrna to Athens, and from there to Sofia. It was on a train just before we got in. As it happened, I was all alone.
I beg your pardon. I must apologize for intruding. My compartment was so very crowded.
Oh, that's quite all right. Plenty of room in here.
How good of you to put it that way. I'm sure we'll have a very pleasant journey.
Well, a rather short one, I'm afraid. I'm getting off in Sofia.
Oh, that's too bad. I'm going through to Bucharest.
Oh?
If I may introduce myself, my name is Peters.
Peters? I would guess you're English.
By birth, perhaps. But actually, I'm a citizen of the world. To me, all languages are beautiful.
Oh, yes, if one says the right thing.
We're coming into Sofia, sir. I'll take your bag.
Oh, thank you, Porter.
You like Sofia?
Thank you.
Beautiful city. The best hotel is the Slavianska Basada. I hope you don't mind my suggesting it.
Oh, please, to the contrary, you're very kind.
Not at all. That's the trouble with this world. There's not enough kindness.
Well, I believe you're helping to remedy that deficiency. Goodbye, Mr. Peters.
Goodbye, Mr. Lighton. Goodbye.
Curious sort of fellow. You're... That's funny. How did he know my name? Even then, I didn't guess the truth. Oh, I wondered about Mr. Peters, of course, but I was more concerned with Dimitrios. And in Sofia, there was a good deal to be learned. Dimitrios, the petty thief. Dimitrios, the thug. Dimitrios, the blackmailer. Old newspaper files, police court records. I searched them all. And at last, they took me to Madame Irana at the cafe of the Golden Fez. She was sullen at first, suspicious, resentful. But when I told her that Dimitrios was dead, she...
Dead? Oh, it's very hard to believe.
Well, I saw his body myself.
How did he look?
Oh, his hair was gray, his clothes were old and rather cheap.
So he didn't become rich after all. Not even with my 1,000 francs.
Took 1,000 francs from you?
I gave them to him. It was that afternoon. He rushed into my room. He was very excited. He made me promise if the police came, I'd swear he'd been with me all day.
Oh, yes, I've seen the records. I know they question you. Isn't that the day the Prime Minister was killed? Dimitrios?
I never knew for sure. He told me he needed 1,000 francs to get away. That once he reached Belgrade, he'd be very rich. He'd send for me.
And did he send for you?
I never heard from him again. Oh, all these years, it wasn't just 1,000 francs.
I understand. You were in love with him.
A liar, thief, an assassin, perhaps. And still,
Madame Irana, I've troubled you enough for one evening. You've helped me really a great deal with my story. Possibly if you think of something else,
If I think of something else.
I'll be at my hotel, the Slavianska Bizarre. Oh, 2 o'clock. I didn't realize it was so late.
You're a little early, Mr. Leiden.
Peters.
Will you close the door, please? Huh? Considering this gun in my hand, that becomes an order, not a request. Now then.
What does this mean? What are you doing in my room? Why have you been going through my things?
Don't move, please. That's better. Now, Mr. Leiden, let us be frank with each other. And I propose to start with your answering a question. Why are you interested in Dimitrios?
Dimitrios?
Yes, dear Mr. Leiden. From Istanbul to Smyrna. From Smyrna to Athens. From Athens to Sofia. You have been absorbed in tracing his record. You see, I have observed you rather closely.
No doubt.
You haven't answered my question.
I have nothing to hide. I'm interested in Dimitrios as a character, as a basis of a book. I may write a detective story.
A detective story? How fascinating.
And now perhaps you'll answer a simple question, Mr. Peters. What is your interest in Dimitrios? Did you ever know him?
Mr. Leiden, I do not recollect that I promised to give you any information.
Well, then I have to guess the answers. Is your interest money, perhaps? A treasure Dimitrios had left somewhere, huh? Oh, no, when I think of him lying in a morgue, just that shabby suit, not a penny on him, I am forced to... What's the matter?
Did I understand you to say that Dimitrios is in a morgue?
Yes, so what of it?
Mr. Leiden, it occurs to me that we can be of great help to each other. What did you say if I proposed an alliance?
An alliance? For what?
I take it you're not a rich man, Mr. Leiden.
No, I'm not rich.
You can be very easily, if you will meet me in Paris.
Why on earth should I go to Paris?
Shall we say to learn the whole story of Dimitrios? Mr. Leiden, I'm aware of certain facts which I cannot reveal to you at the moment. You, on the other hand, possess an important piece of information. You may not know it is important, but nevertheless, it is.
But how will that make me rich?
Added to what I already know, it is worth, at the very least, 1 million French francs.
1 million francs?
1 million francs. Mr. Leiden, shall I have the pleasure of seeing you in Paris?
The second act of the Lady Esther Screen Guild play will follow in just a moment. Now, a word from Lady Esther.
Often it's just some one little thing about your appearance that makes the difference between lack of confidence in yourself and complete poise and assurance. For example, you may have a dry, rough skin on which face powder looks all ruffled up and flaky. That can disturb your entire personality, and just when you want to be at your best. So here's what I'd like you to do before powdering. It will make a wonderful change in your appearance. Will give you marvelous new confidence in yourself. Just rub Lady Esther face cream on your skin, and then wipe it off, gently but completely. You see, Lady Esther face cream loosens the dry, clinging particles of skin nature is trying to throw off. And when you wipe off the cream, along with it come all those rough little flakes, leaving only the new, young skin, which is smooth as velvet. And on this new skin, your powder takes on a fresh, vibrant look, a clear, translucent look. Now, if you want proof of all this, make the patch test. Just rub Lady Esther face cream on one side of your face, wipe it off, and apply your powder. Then compare that side of your face with the other. Feel the difference with your fingertips and see the difference in your mirror. Remember, all that counts in the use of any face cream is results. That's why I ask you to make the patch test and compare results with those from any cream you've ever used, regardless of price. Get a jar of Lady Esther face cream tonight if you possibly can. You'll find it wherever good cosmetics are sold.
And now, Lady Esther presents the second act of The Mask of Dimitrios, starring Sidney Greenstreet and Peter Lorre, who continues our story.
Yes, I did go to Paris. Quite eagerly, in fact. The story of Dimitrios had grown beyond anything I dared to imagine. I knew that now I could never drop it until I had discovered the end. So I arrived, and after a busy 24 hours, I telephoned Peters that I was there. I must give him credit. He wasted no time. Within the hour, he was at my hotel.
My dear Mr. Leiden, I cannot tell you how glad I am to see you.
Glad enough to leave your gun at home?
But of course.
Oh, that's good. Permits me to speak more freely, Mr. Peterson.
Peterson? You know about that?
Oh, yes, and more. Your name is Eric Peterson. You belong to a smuggling gang organized here in Paris by Dimitrios. You were arrested in December 1931, fined 2,000 francs, and sentenced to 1 month imprisonment.
Who told you that?
Oh, no one. I dug that out for myself. Old newspaper files are very interesting. Well, yesterday I found this story and this picture of you.
Oh, yes, that picture. Not very flattering, is it?
Oh, well, we are not discussing photography, Mr. Peterson.
Please. The name is Peters now.
All right, then, Peters. You know, in Istanbul, I was told that Dimitrios betrayed a lot of you to the police in order to ensure his own escape. Is that true?
Dimitrios behaved very badly to us all.
Oh, yes, and there was talk of vengeance. You all threatened to kill him as soon as you were free.
I did not threaten. Some of the others, perhaps.
Oh.
Constantine Gullis was always a hothead.
Oh, I see. You did not threaten. You preferred to act.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
No? Then let me put it this way. It is believed that Dimitrios died a poor man. Is that likely? Your gang must have made a lot of money for him.
Very great deal.
And he was not the sort to let it go, was he? So do you know what's in my mind, Mr. Peters? I am wondering if you killed Dimitrios for his money.
Mr. Leiden, I think you are very indiscreet.
Do you?
And also very fortunate. Now, just suppose I had killed Dimitrios. Shouldn't I now be forced to kill you, too?
Oh, sure. So you did bring your gun.
Yes. I lied to you a moment ago, I admit it. I was curious to know what you would do.
Well, now you know.
Mr. Leiden, even if you cannot be indiscreet, at least try to use your imagination. Is it likely that Dimitrios will make a will in my favor? No. Then how could I put my hands on his money? People no longer keep their wealth in treasure chests, you know.
No, I suppose they don't.
Then what motive would I have to kill him? Come now, Mr. Leiden, let us be sensible. I know you disapprove of me. I really cannot blame you. But since we must do business together, let us cultivate at least the illusion of friendship. Shall we dine together tonight?
Very well.
Excellent. Afterwards, we'll have coffee in my apartment. And then, Mr. Leiden, you shall know everything.
Everything?
Everything. It's an honor to have you here, Mr. Leiden. Such an excellent dinner, too. Tell me, how do you like me, this place?
Your place? Oh, I noticed the name on the door was Godfrey.
A friend of mine. He's away at the moment.
Oh, I see.
You conclude, I suppose, that I am Godfrey.
Well, I...
Mr. Leiden, you're rather naive. But let us get to our business now. I have a picture here in this drawer. Ah, here it is. Tell me, do you recognize it?
Oh, of course, that's Dimitrios.
Yes, I thought you'd say that.
Is there any reason why I shouldn't?
One slight reason. It's not Dimitrios.
What on earth do you mean?
I mean, this is a photograph of Constantine Gullis.
But in Istanbul, in a morgue, I saw it...
Perhaps I'd better explain. When we who had been betrayed were released from prison, Dimitrios had disappeared. Yeah. Gullis spent years tracking him down. And when he found him, Dimitrios acted first. He invited Gullis on a cruise.
and murdered him.
It's Gullis's body that you saw.
But then Dimitrios is alive.
Alive and flourishing right here in Paris. That is why you have come, Mr. Leyden.
Me?
Our friend has assumed another name, of course. He is fabulously rich. He moves in the very best circles. Director of several prominent banks. It should be worth something to him to protect his position. It should be worth precisely 1 million francs.
Blackmail.
You choose to be vulgar?
I choose to have no part of it.
I'm afraid you forget.
I know. You still have your gun.
Yes. You see, Dimitrios may want proof. He might ask you to describe the body.
You know, you're insane to cross a man like that. Once he knows where you are.
But he doesn't know. In my note to him, I specified that the money should be delivered to a messenger at Versailles. The messenger will take a route, devious, and meet us several miles from here. It's almost time now. Shall we go?
Hey, Mr. Peters, do you really think he'll pay?
Of course. I haven't the slightest doubt.
No, I have a feeling it's too easy.
The great things are always easy. Listen, the car. Yes, it's a Renault. That's it. Ça va? Good. I have it. This is here, isn't it? Beautiful. All in 1,000-franc note.
Well, then it appears that you have won. Mr. Peters, I don't think you'll need me any longer.
But, Mr. Leyden, your share.
I never intended taking any part of it.
Yes, I can understand that you would think that way. But at least you must help me count it, my friend, and help me celebrate. A bottle of champagne, the very best. A great vintage year, say 1919 or 1920. 100 francs a bottle. I insist.
You insist?
Yes, I insist. Well, now here we are. Back home, safe and sound.
Sound perhaps, but I'm not so sure we are safe.
Mr. Leyden, you are cautious, aren't you? But perhaps wisely so. I must confess to you, even if you had demanded your share of this million, I doubt if you would have gotten it.
I was aware of that.
Then we can drink as friends. Now, here is the champagne, and all we need is some ice. I'll get it from the kitchen. It won't take... Dimitrios!
You don't flatter me by looking so surprised. You must have known I was not entirely stupid.
Listen, Dimitrios...
What a fool you were to send your note by messenger. It was so simple to trace him to... Don't move, Peterson. You either, sir.
No, Dimitrios, put down that gun. I'll give the money back. Go away. Oh, no.
Another one.
Another one. And now you.
No, not me. Don't shoot! No. I'm sorry. I had to do it.
Leyden. He's down. Gun.
I've got it. You see this, Dimitrios? I have your gun. If you move, I'll shoot.
I think you would. Look here. If you shoot me, you'll only get 1 million. Release me, and I'll give you another as well.
Police. Go get the police.
But then he'll get away.
I have my gun. Cover him.
All right.
No, monsieur, wait. If you go, he'll shoot me. Don't you see that? Why not take my offer?
I shall be back with the police.
I'll give you 3 million.
Watch him, Peter.
5 million, monsieur.
I'll be back as fast as I can. No, he couldn't. Peters, you said you would only... Peters! Dead. Both of them dead. So this is the end of Dimitrios. This is the end of the story. Peters, you didn't live to know it, did you? You didn't live to open your champagne. All right. I'll open it. I'll drink to you. I'll drink to you because I have my story now. Because... Huh? What's this? Champagne Sec, 1934? 5 francs the bottle in any cafe. I should have known that, Peters. I should have guessed. You cheated even on the champagne.
Thank you, Peter Lorre and Sidney Greenstreet, for your fine performances in tonight's play. The Lady Esther Screen Guild players are grateful for your appearance here because, as you know, the benefits from these programs go to support the fine work of the Motion Picture Relief Fund and its country house. And now, before we tell you about next week's play, here is a word from one of America's best-known beauty authorities, Lady Esther.
I've always said, seeing is believing. That's why I ask you once again to make the Lady Esther patch test. I want you to see with your own eyes exactly what happens when you apply Lady Esther four-purpose face cream. I want to prove how much fresher and lovelier your skin will look than it's ever looked before. You can make this simple test in the time you count 30. Just rub Lady Esther face cream on one side of your face. Then wipe it off and run your fingers over that patch of skin. Feel the difference. Feel how smooth and silky it's become to your touch. Now apply your powder and see the difference. See how the dull, drab look is gone, how your skin has taken on new life, new beauty. You see, Lady Esther face cream does all these 4 things. 1, it thoroughly cleans your skin. 2, it softens your skin. 3, it helps nature refine the pores. And 4, it leaves a perfect base for powder. Does the face cream you now use do all these things? I don't care what you pay for it. Even if it's 10 times as much as Lady Esther face cream, I still say, make the patch test and compare. See with your own eyes how very much more Lady Esther face cream does for your skin than any cream you've ever used. See how it instantly beautifies the tone, texture, and entire appearance of your skin.
Next week, the Lady Esther Screen Guild players will present Flesh and Fantasy. It will star Ella Raines and Charles Boyer. Be sure to listen. Peter Lorre is currently appearing in Hotel Berlin. Sidney Greenstreet will soon be seen in Pillow to Post, both Warner Brothers productions. In last week's program, Dennis O'Keefe appeared through the courtesy of Edward Small Productions and can now be seen in their latest picture, Brewster's Millions. Music on tonight's program was arranged and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Truman Bradley speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.